as you guys can see, I prepared 5 layers or 5 very quick artworks. I'm not sure if we have enough time to do all of them, but yeah, let's see. Okay, so first I want to demonstrate you the upside down perspective. Here I found this really nice image from Unsplash, which is a mountain and a river with some trees surrounding it. But I'm always looking for these pictures, and you know, I'm just like this, checking if it's something worth turning upside down. And in this one, I really liked it. So of course I have a shortcut for turning stuff upside down. And then I'm not sure if it happens with everyone, but I immediately have a new perspective. Well, of course it's a new perspective, but also a new perception, because I'm thinking this water is blue, but it's now on top of my screen, so I might as well make it into the sky. And then obviously I already got out the original sky, because I found a sky that I thought was much nicer. So this is my new sky, and I want this now to look as if it's water. So if you would create an optical illusion like this, what you can do to emphasize the fact that the upper part of the artwork should now be sky is placing something, an object in the sky that is usually only being seen in the sky. So here I have my objects. This looks very weird, but it will be good, I promise you. So maybe I would just, you know, add a moon right here. Oh, I don't see my cursor right now. Maybe here. And then something you can do to emphasize this being now the water, even though it has clouds, but I think, you know, keeping the clouds really gives that surrealistic feeling to the artwork. Is maybe I can add a little boat on the bottom of the artwork. So I'll just, of course, this is really quick because I already cut out all these objects. So yeah, now I will make it in like 4 minutes maybe, but usually it does take much longer. Oh, this is really annoying. I don't see my cursor. Yeah, okay, we're there. I would make this a bit smaller to make the rest look bigger. So that's something optical as well. Oh, I see the whole thing has moved. Yep. And what I always like to do with artworks like this is, you know, just adding details to make it more realistic, even though it's surrealism. For example, to make it a bit more realistic that the moon is here, I would actually add a bit of glow behind it. So maybe like this, you know, now it looks like it's actually there. Also with this boat, it already has a reflection because it was in the original image. But if I would erase that reflection, and this is not optimal use of Photoshop, this is, you should do this otherwise. But if I would erase that, it looks more like it's just floating there. It doesn't look like it's or floating. It looks like it's actually floating in the sky, but it should be floating in the water. So that's why we're adding a reflection like this. And, you know, I always tweak a lot. I'm a perfectionist, so I can spend hours on an artwork. For example, what I like about the sky is that it has this purple glow about it, and I would do the same for my landscape. So I would add a bit of magenta, for example. Oops. I do this by color balance and then adding a little bit of purple, maybe a little bit of red. And in this way, the artwork becomes just one artwork and then not so much of, different layers. So this was the first artwork. I hope it's a bit of inspiring maybe for you guys to create something like this. Yeah, so I will now show you an optical illusion by rotating something. So here we have this this cool image of a church interior again. If I would just rotate this by 90 degrees, I now have this. And it kind of reminds me of a spaceship maybe. So if I would want to work with that and make it like, a platform, something like that, I could emphasize that illusion by placing a figure on it. So for example, this monk, I think it's called. So maybe a bit smaller. Maybe like this. And I also want to create the illusion that this is, again, very high up in the sky. So what I can do is I have prepared this image of the Earth. I think this is a storm. By using this as my background image, it now creates the illusion that this is really high. For example, I have this picture of a beach. If I would make that visible, all of a sudden it just becomes, ground floor. So it's really important what you're using as your background image. And again, to make this more realistic, I would, maybe put another moon here. It's so crazy because my Photoshop works differently when sharing my screen. Yep. And to make it more realistic, I would add a shadow. It would look cool if you had the shadow. For those who actually know how Photoshop works, this is how I create my shadow. I just duplicate the layer and then I flip it vertically as well. And I just place it in a realistic way. And then, oh, Siri. And then I just fill this layer with 100% black, like this. And then I'm just going to play around with the opacity of this layer. So maybe I will put it to 40. Let's see how it works. Maybe a bit more because there's a lot of structure going on below. And then I would give it a little perspective. So I go to transform and then perspective and just drag it this way and replace it again. And maybe, erase the part that shouldn't be here. This is just a really quick way to show you guys. I would spend some more time on it, but it's just an example. So yeah, second artwork that, second illusion that I wanted to show you guys. And then I wanted to show you how to work with an aerial perspective and to make something cool out of that, because this is obviously also a picture taken from really high up in the sky. I think it's a drone shot of two people surfing, or at least I think, yeah, one fell off. But as soon as I would add a layer on top, which is taken from a regular perspective, like this one, also very quick because it's prepared, it's already cut out. But now it also, I think it also has this inception feeling, and it now looks like maybe it's a really big wave, a big wave that they are going to catch. So yeah, if you have a good idea on how to use different perspectives, it can turn out really well. And also with this one, this is very quick, but I would, change the colors a bit to get it more consistent. I would also turn this surfboard maybe in the same color as this, you know, stuff like that, just details. Yeah, and then negative space, but also turning it upside down. I found this nice picture of, I think it's New York. If I turn this upside down, you have the same perspective as in my artwork, which is called Rodeo Drive. It's like I said, it's the one, the most sold one. So I already like this, and I want to, maybe I want to make this into a road as well. So I will just add some cars and try to hit the right proportions for it. For example, if I place this one here, and if I want to place another car in the artwork, if I want it to be optical behind this one should be smaller. So I think it would look something like this. And also here, these cars already have some shadow beneath them. So that really helps in creating the illusion that they're actually driving the sky, which can now be seen as a road. And again, you know, I would make this more saturated. For example, maybe I would add a sun to it, or maybe even more cars, or even people. You know, you can really get crazy with optical illusions. And then the last one, I think we have some time left. Here I have this cool image of a valley. What did I want to do with this? Yeah, proportions. Playing around with sizes that are not realistic. So I prepared this kitty. I'm not sure if that sounds weird. It sounds like I cooked a cat. Anyway, if we would place a cat in this picture in a realistic way, it would look, I don't think we would even see it, because as you can see, this is a house. So if a cat would be laying in front of the house, it would be this small, or, you know, even smaller. But that's not what we want. I want this really big cat. So if I'm just making him as big as this, and I would maybe rotate it a bit as if he's really lying down in this valley. Yeah. So it already creates the illusion that this is a really big cat. And what's important if you are going to use placements like this, I always use a soft brush for, you know, grass or trees, and then I would just erase bits of this one. I would just erase parts of his, you know, fur, and in this way it would actually look like he's laying in the grass. So like this, maybe here as well. Just really, again, this is really quick. It's not really neat. Maybe, you know, removing some trees here as if his paw is behind those trees. Sometimes I feel like Bob Ross, you know, doing stuff like this, drawing trees. So yeah, obviously it would need a little bit more tweaking. If I would finish this artwork, I would add a shadow to the cat so that it actually looks like he's laying there. Also, the image of the cat is way sharper than the landscape. So I would maybe blur a bit, use a bit more noise on the image of the cat, to make it seem as if it's really supposed to be there, to make it more realistic. So yeah, that was it for the demonstration. I think I discussed everything that I wanted to discuss. So I think maybe we should check if there are some questions.
Thank you so much, Irie.
Welcome.
That was amazing. And I have to say, this
Thank you
cat
so
right
much.
here is splendid. I think like the chat right now, it's not much of questions. It's just everybody going like, wow, this looks so good. This is so cute. This looks awesome.